this session with Coach Arun. Today I'm going to talk about how to negotiate your salary with the HR in an Indian context. Well, I'm sure you will agree that as Indians, we are very good in negotiation, and that too, particularly when it is with a sabjiwala or an autowala. We can argue endlessly even if he charges 1 rupee extra from us. But what happens on an personal context when it comes to your salary and your compensation details? We just shy of talking to the HR manager, or we depend upon the job consultant to decide our salary. In fact, that is the reality for all of us. Well, I'll give you one more example to get little more idea about that how bad and how poor we are when it comes to salary negotiations. One of my known marketing professional, he was around 35 years of age. He was based at Delhi and he got a job opening from a company based at Mumbai. Now, in that role, he was supposed to move from Delhi to Mumbai when the HR offered him a salary with a 15% hike. This gentleman requested the HR manager to give him at least 30% rise as per industry standards. And the HR said that they have certain limitations and they cannot go beyond 15% because they also need to hire two more people under this particular role. However, the HR said that what they can do best is that instead of 5 days stay in a hotel, they can give a 14-day stay once he relocates to Mumbai. Now, this gentleman went and accepted the offer, and after 1 month of his joining, he just came to know about one of the colleagues who had joined them recently at a little junior role, wherein he found that he got a higher salary package, more than 1 lakh than his current package in almost similar role. He was completely broken. He was devastated. He was thinking that maybe his desperation towards this particular job and moving to Mumbai has been understood by the HR, and they have really played with him. They have downgraded his market value. Well, friends, I'm sure you will agree that many such examples are happening around us on an everyday basis. In fact, the research has also shown that if you are showing too much of eagerness, or your body language or your verbal tone is like this, that you are showing too much of an excitement towards a particular job role or particular company, you never know that at the end of the salary negotiation, you may lose up to 5 to 10% of increment that you are deserving to get. Well, this particular thought made me feel that I should be sharing some of my experience with all of you on certain tips that you need to take care of while you are negotiating your salary. So if you are right now undergoing an interview process, or even you are going to talk to your boss for an increment in your current salary, then I'm sure these tips are going to help you a lot. So let's go one by one in this. So the number one tip is do a market survey and come prepared, which means that whenever you get any job offer from a job consultant or from the company directly, you need to do a small market survey that what are the salary range this particular job is offering in the market. You can also do a small comparison with respect to Indian companies versus the multinational companies. You can also look into the number of years of experience this position is asking for. Well, in my experience, what I have seen is that many companies now have started offering very fancy designations. Recently, I came across one designation like Consultant Industry Partnership. Now, this designation is not heard of. So probably a lot of people will get confused that what is the salary range that this particular position is asking for. Now, at this point of time, you need to be smart and you need to really dig deeper into three important aspects. Number one, you need to check what is the education background this particular role is asking. Number two, what is the number of years of experience it is asking. And the three, and the most important, is what is the job description. So in the given example, consultant industry partnership is nothing but a business development role. And a lot of candidates only comes to know once they understand the job description what exactly it demands. So you need to be very careful about understanding the salary range existing, because once you understand the salary range for a given role, when you go for an interview, you are very assertive in discussing your salaries with the hiring managers. So this is step number one. The number 2 point is don't rush to the salary. Now, I have seen in my experience that a lot of candidates they jump into salary point very early during the interview. In fact, the interviewer on the other side also test you with respect to your interest on the salary front. So this question not necessary that the candidate jumps, but can also come from the interviewer in the early phase of selection. Now, if you are a smart person, you need to understand that they are just testing you. They are not actually looking at the salary package that you want. So, at that point of time, you need to be very smart in putting it across that you are looking forward to join the company with respect to the products, services, and many other things that the company is giving you that kind of attraction. However, when you know that you are going to have the round with the HR, because in a good company, in an evolved company, HR is the last person when they will take your interview. They are the one who are authorized for salary negotiation. And in a company when there is no HR which is evolved, then this is done by the most senior manager who is responsible to take the final decision of the selection. So if you are sitting in an interview, you need to first focus upon your skills, your abilities, the kind of projects that you have been involved, how successfully you have done them, what kind of rewards and recognition that you have received in your tenure. In fact, the more you discuss, the more you convince them about how good you are, the more you market yourself, you are creating a lot of space in their mind that having you on their side can give them a high impact, edge in the market. And if you are able to do that, you have actually created a space for yourself already in that organization, and that brightens your chances for demanding a salary what you want. But rushing in the early stages of your expectation 30%, 40% is not going to attract you. It's not going to benefit you. So pay very serious attention to how you market yourself in the most part of your interview to convince the other side of the people who are sitting. The tip number 3 is let the employer offer you first. I'm sure that is an ideal situation that an employer offers you first, because that gives you an upper hand to negotiate your salary because you have the number in front of you. But my dear friend, you need to understand that you are in India, and 9 out of 10 times it is going to happen that the employer is going to ask you what are your salary expectation. Now, this brings a situation wherein you are not very sure of, because if you quote a number which is lower, then you may have to settle with a lower salary. Or if you quote a number which is higher, you never know, the employer might refuse you to offer you that level, and they might even cancel your candidature and offer it to somebody else. Well, a very simple rule for understanding this particular aspect is you need to keep all the cards very close to your chest, which means that you should not be revealing your numbers so easily. Only at the last stage you need to come out with a salary range that you are looking up to, or the target that you have in your mind. That is the time you should mention your number. And friends, if you remember, if you have heard it earlier very clearly, I had clearly told that doing a research on that position, on that company, on that location, the salary ranges, if you know in that market area, you can very well assertively offer the range of salary that you are targeting. Now, if you understand this well, you can definitely move very simply closer to what you are looking at or aiming to get the salary hike. So the next tip is pay attention on the total compensation package. Well, friends, many of us are only focused about the fixed salary or the amount of salary that is credited into our bank. But that's not what you are here to negotiate for. You are here to negotiate the entire package, which includes a lot of perks, because many companies put a lot of emphasis on the perks like extra bonus, holiday, vacations, plus car, petrol allowances, all these etc's are added into your salary. But at that point of time, you need to be very cautious and get more clarity about that what kind of increments that they pay year on year in the annual hike when they do the annual appraisals of their employees, or what are the procedures that they follow when it comes to giving salary increments. This gives you an idea that what are the percentage rises that generally happens and what are the performance standards they have when they have to give higher increments to their employees year on year. But in case you are finding that your new employer is not able to pay you the level of salary, the fixed salary that you're targeting, then definitely you need to pay attention to these perks. Because I have seen that a lot of time the company is tied up because for a given band, there is a set of amount that they have kept and they cannot go beyond that. And in such cases, you can demand for joining bonus, which is as good as the additional 5 or 10% rise equivalent amount that can be paid to you. So this is what I want you to look at it when it comes to the complete CTC and not just one single thing that is your fixed salary in isolation. So the next tip is keep your enthusiasm within limits. Let's say after a long haul of negotiation, you got your desired salary, location, job role, and designation. Now just don't go overboard and start telling everyone about that how you are able to crack the deal. Because if you make it so, and if the HR comes to know, they may feel that maybe they have offered you more than what you deserve, or maybe that you are not confident of getting something what you have got in hand. And this does not go so well, because within the organization this thing gets spread very fast from peer to peer and it reaches to the HR and the head of the departments in most of the cases. So since you are going to an organization for a long haul, you are going to stay longer, professionalism is the need of the hour. How professional you maintain yourself is going to be the test of you, not only at that point of time, but in the subsequent years for your future promotion and future increments within the same organization. So don't be too much of enthusiastic if you have just won a kind of a World Cup on this particular case. Be professional, be calm, and be happy, but be composed. I'm sure these tips would have really given you some idea, some insights on how to negotiate your salary with the HR, particularly in the Indian context. I would like to add one more special tip to you, that don't be in a desperate mode while you are giving an interview. So let's say you are working in a company right now, keep looking out for opportunities periodically. Don't stop your job hunt thinking that you are in a job which is going to be secure forever. Or even if you have the slightest hint that there is a expected layoff or there is some problem likely to take place with you, you need to go out and start hunting for new job opportunities in the market by reaching out to consultants, by reaching out to professionals in the LinkedIn. The reason I'm telling you this is because when you are hunting the job in advance, you are not in a desperate mode. Your mind is very relaxed. Whenever you are giving an interview, you are more assertive, you are more confident in giving your interview. But imagine if you enter into an interview with desperation reflecting on your mind, the case which I shared in the beginning of this talk, you are gonna be in a situation where the employer or a smart HR manager might take you for a ride, or they take an advantage of you by not giving you the desired role, or maybe they may not be giving you the desired salary rise that you are expecting, because the desperation is clearly visible on your face, or maybe they may not even select you. So if you really want to remain relevant in this job market, and you want to have a good salary hike in any interview that you go for, you really need to work on these very important tips. Your body language, your desperation, completely take care of it, because this is something that is pulling you down. What is pulling you up is how you are researching on the salary range, based on the location, based on the company size, based on their tenure in the company, tenure of the company in the Indian market, as well as on the tips that I just shared, would definitely help you to negotiate your salary better. So I hope if you have liked this video, I want you to subscribe this video, because I'm going to share more information on this, and do share it with your friends so that it can reach to more people. Thank you, and thanks for watching this.